We knew that when we bought the house that we would want to do some renovations, and we came up with plans and layouts of what was best for Jennifer, but also what can we do as parents to try to ease whatever we had to do physically ourselves.
Like John Walsh, Jennifer Torlucci has cerebral palsy. But because 19-year-old Jennifer is much more dependent, her parents' priorities were different. To make life easier, the Torluccis moved into this one-level ranch home when Jennifer was 7, and then added on to it. Having a bathroom large enough to accommodate the needs of a fully grown adolescent was essential.
Just like people have a master bathroom, well, you need a master bathroom for a disabled person. Of course, a lot different, a lot bigger, okay, a lot more accessible to get at it, and built to their needs.
We have, first of all, the changing table, which is the best thing we have in there, because we can put Jennifer in there and change her clothes, change her to go in the bathroom, and take her to the shower. It's so much easier for us.
In addition to the roll-in shower, there is a whirlpool bath that helps relax Jennifer's muscles and control her spasticity. The extension also contains a family room, where Jennifer and her parents enjoy spending time when they're at home together.
We figured if we had that room that way, she could be with us at all times instead of stuck into another room, so that was all part of the planning.
Outside the house, the Torluccis widened the driveway and enlarged the garage to provide adequate clearance for their oversized van and make it possible to take Jennifer out in any weather.
She loves to go out. That's one of the best things. Sometimes, just in a conversation, we have to avoid saying in front of her that we're thinking about going or something because she wants to go.
And we take her every place we go, and she enjoys life, and we're enjoying her.
What's my hope? I just love my daughter so much that to me, it doesn't matter how she is. The little bit she does is my biggest joy. Just when she calls me mama, to me was the biggest thrill.
One of the first things that you need to do when you're thinking about home modifications is to hire an architect that's going to be familiar with the requirements of barrier-free accessibility standards. There are many particular things that need to be dealt with in terms of clearances and specialized equipment, and you'd like to have the plans incorporate all the detailed needs. You might want to talk to people who've had needs similar to yours so that you can find architects to talk to and look at projects that they've done to find somebody that you'll be able to work closely with.
And there are organizations as well that are there to help support, give advice, even maybe some funding, or help direct a person to be able to locate funding and resources that would be of assistance to them.
I think the internet is a great resource for finding out about organizations that might provide funding. There is funding available. A lot of it depends on the state that you live in and on your family financial situation. Probably mostly, though, on how hard you look.
Initially, I applied to a HUD program in order to have the house renovated. Certain things HUD would not provide for, so what I did was I tried to think of other places that would help me to get as much as I could out of the project.
When you're looking for funding for home modifications, persistence pays off. Just ask Zinke McGeady. As a single parent with 3 children to support, she did qualify for assistance from HUD, the government agency that provides grants to low-income homeowners. The problem was, the amount that HUD was willing to pay was not nearly enough to cover all the work needed to make the first floor fully accessible for Zinke's 14-year-old son, Andrew, who has cerebral palsy.
So I just tried to plug away as much as I could, asking for things. And a lot of times with certain government programs, if you ask for a certain amount more than what you're hoping for, then you're going to get at least what you're hoping for. In other words, always ask for double.
After working on the plans with a HUD architect, Zinke turned to the Eastern Paralyzed Veterans Association, or EPVA, for additional design advice.
When the architect had finished the plans of what he wanted to do with the home, I faxed that up to EPVA, and they looked at it and made a lot of very helpful suggestions, such as widening the sliding glass doors on Andrew's bedroom so that the wheelchair would have a real clean exit.
Zinke picked up a number of other valuable ideas by visiting the Abilities Expo in her area. This regional showcase features everything from low-cost, low-tech adaptive devices to high-end appliances, fixtures, and equipment.
We haven't missed a year in over 10 years. We go to every booth. There's a lot of booths. It takes us several hours, but we glean a lot of information from there and learn about certain things. That is how I learned about automatic door openers.
Although HUD had added ramps and moved and widened the front door, Andrew did not have the dexterity or strength to open the door by himself.
He either had to sit by the door or we had to stop what we were doing to go and open the door for him.
An automatic door opener seemed like an ideal solution. After it was installed on the storm door, however, Andrew still couldn't get through the inner door.
We called United Cerebral Palsy, and they came out and they had a little key fob, which you can purchase in any hardware store. So now when Andrew comes to the front door, he aims the key fob and the inside door unlocks automatically. And therefore he's able to get in.
Other inexpensive modifications like rocker switches and lever handles make it easy for Andrew to turn on lights and open doors inside the house. To finance renovations that HUD did not cover, Zinke pursued some additional funding sources.
I wrote to Home Depot and asked them if they would consider certain things, and they did. They supplied some wood for the deck, carbon monoxide detectors, a back door. My church provided certain things, so you could always go to your house of worship. One of the things that I think that's made a marked difference for Andrew is that through the independence of being able to access the home, it's given him the ability to feel better about himself and to have better self-esteem that there are things that he can do. So if we're eating outside and Andrew can say, I'll get that and I can bring it outside through the door, then he is now a contributing member of the family, and I think that's really made a big impact on him.